Hello everyone, this is Jose Ricardo Tejan in Dubrovnik, Republic of Croatia, and today, Friday, February 15, 2019, I'm going to give you an idea of Osiris Ragnarok, what exactly is, and we're going to cover a couple points. First, what is Osiris Ragnarok? Number two, I'm going to talk about the competitive, pretty much the trading edge when we engage Forex activities, Forex trading. And number three, I'm going to talk about the minimum viable capital. What is the minimum capital to make it work? Now, I also will explain the difference between your minimum viable capital and your regular capital, what to expect and what not to expect. Okay? Now remember, all the content in these videos is for education purposes only. It does not constitute an offer for you to go and buy or sell any electronic asset. At the same time, it's very important to remember that past performance does not constitute future performance. Do we have that clear? All right, let's begin. So, as I said, the reason why I record these videos in Spanish and English is because of the increasing attention the data is receiving. Most of what you are going to see, pretty much you're watching, it's my academic research. That means that although it's a simulation, it's an ongoing simulation, very different from a back test. A back test in any type of trading strategy for futures, for equities, currencies, is based on collecting the data. Then you have to evaluate the quality of the data that you're receiving. There's some free packages, there's some that you have to pay. In this case, the ongoing simulation means that it happened, although it was simulated live in the moment of the different circumstances. And that's how I collect the data. It's not pretty much turning a server, turning a computer on, and taking all this data and going back into time. This is exactly what happened from 2012 all the way up to this point. Now, Osiris Ragnarok itself, the benefit is that we're looking to compound. We're looking to take small initial capital, the minimum, that's what I call minimum viable capital, and parlay. There's a terminology in gambling. You're looking to take small amounts into big amounts, not what usually happens, which is taking big amounts and slowly going down to sometimes zero. So how are we going to do that? That's the question, and how you can take advantage of this. This is the most important. This video is not for me. It's for you all. Absolutely for you all. So you can see how you can do it. Because today I'm going to take down totally the fallacy of the 10% guarantee per year. Look, if you want to retire, if you are about to retire, or if you're looking to build your savings account, 10% a year, if you have 5, 10,000, 50,000, it's not going to cut it. It's not going to make it. Let's be real. And that's where you need a little bit of a push. You need to have some explosive years. Like in any business, some years are good, some years are bad. But when you have the good years, and it happens eventually if you manage your business accordingly, you prepare yourself for those big years and then you settle. But if you never have a big year in your business, then it's going to be really difficult to have enough money to reinvest in the business. Otherwise, you will have to look for other sources. The point being is this. You need to look for investments. And it's not that this particular Osiris Ragnarok is the only one. There are others. But you need to know what each asset class can do for you. So, as I said, I'm going to define Osiris Ragnarok. We're going to go over the next two, the point number 2 and point number 3. Okay? So, I'm going to show right away, I'm going to go over the different accounts. The data, the academic research, all the research we're going to go over is 2018. But like I said, I have been doing this since 2012. Slowly dedicated my time, investing my time into this strategy, a Forex winning strategy. And I'm going to explain today how it works and how we can achieve the same and even better results with much lower risk. But you need to be open to understand that this is not a free risk investment. This is not the treasuries from the United States of America. This is not a T-bill. This is not a 10-year note. Nothing like that. This is actively leveraged investments, high yield investments. Okay, great. Let's begin. So we have 4 accounts. The 4 accounts, basically, the first 2 are based on US pairs. That means that we are investing, we're trading US currencies, everything that has the US dollar as a base. And there are 7 currencies. Those 7 currencies, if we go to summary, you can see these are the currencies: Australian dollar, Euro dollar, pound, New Zealand, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and Japanese yen, combined with the US dollars. Okay, and these are results after more than 10 months of active trading and everything going as expected. This is the result. With a minimum viable capital of $2,000, we're looking at 1,500%. That's equal close to $30,000 in profits. Now, the drawdown, implied risk, calculated risk, using this trading model, Forex winning strategy, 47% on the $2,000. That's almost 50% of your capital. But again, minimum viable capital. Now, as you can see, there are some white in this section. It means that there is a drawdown. This section tells you about the drawdown. We can see here the risk happened in June, at the beginning very low, and then almost zero, nothing, because the account keeps growing. Now you can see how smooth and efficient is the growth of the account. Okay, very important to notice this. Now, people may critique me and say, okay, Jose, but you're showing me a simulation account. Yes, I'm showing you an ongoing simulation account. This actually was the trades that the system, the strategy, Osiris Ragnarok took during that time. There's no gimmicks here. This is exactly what happened. Now, when we look at the statistics, and that's the most important part to study now, you can see here, we have a data of 42 trades. I already have everything because otherwise this video will take a lot longer. And I want to show you what I have. So we have 42 trades. Out of those 42 trades, 2 trades were 1 loss and 1 security trade. I have this in Spanish because I recorded yesterday the video in Spanish for clients and the audience in Spanish-speaking countries from Mexico, Costa Rica, Colombia, Spain, also the ones that leave the audience that actually lives in the US but they speak Spanish, also in Canada. But this is just to give an over idea. Now, security trade, I'm not going to explain this much because this has to do a lot with the logic of the algorithm. But just to give an idea, I'm going to go to the chart. Osiris Ragnarok, just to define it right away, is a martingale risk-defined strategy or algorithm. That means that it has been coded and it has been set to do specific things on every currencies. Okay, the same strategy applies to the same all different currencies, and it will always do the same thing. Now, the security trade means that based on a 5 trades basket, every time we work on a currency and the system starts going against the trend, we're going to have max 5 trades against the trend. Now, the security trade basically is if whatever happens and the market moves real fast, for example, comes real fast, or it goes up really fast, for several reasons, some trades may not be executed. Requotes, server connection, anything. Whatever is the case, the code of the algorithm says the following. If this first trade is not executed and then the market enters here, he is not, or it is not going to enter the previous trade. It's gone. Goodbye. Why? And this is where we have a discrepancy. Investors or traders think that, okay, if we miss it here, let's allocate the same trade number 1 with trade number 2. But what you do here is that you over leverage this level. You don't want that. You just want the system to do what it has to do and reduce as much as possible the risk. So here, if this doesn't happen, we just go start the first trade here with the risk level that goes into this level. And if the market goes around, it's perfect because you have less risk and you do exercise a profit if we're looking into a buy. The same is true if we reverse and we were in a sell. The trade's executed here, but if it were to go down, you don't have an excess of risk into this level. Understood? Great. Now, we're going to go into the different levels. Analyzing the statistics in 2018, our team found this. We always only got to level 132. That's at the trade number 3 out of a basket of 5. So whatever happened during 2018, this strategy is the most effective when it only gets to trade number 3. So if we look this into the charts, it means that we had one trade, then we had the second trade, and then we had the third trade. Let's eliminate this. So we only had 3 trades, and every time when the strategy got to this level, what it did for the buy, it reversed, and for the sell, it went down. Okay? Now, great. Now remember, we are going against the trend. So Osiris Ragnarok, by definition, is a martingale. But the reason why we know is a risk defined is that we know our worst case based on the statistics that we have, at least for 2018, and the ones I have since 2012. So that gives you an exact idea of the mathematical work and the research we have accomplished here. Now, we were going over the trades, so we took out that security trade. Now we have 40 trades. I already mentioned that the latest trade, or we only got into the basket of 5 until trade number 3. That happened during 2018 6 times. 6 scenarios. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have one case with the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. We have 2 with the US dollar against the Japanese yen. We have 1 US dollar against the Swiss franc, and we have 2 with the pound, the British pound against the US dollar. Now, I already calculated how much money we make if we only trade the last level, and that's what I'm calling here. The reason why we have a high drawdown here is because at some point, if we don't make money right away, we're going to have a fluctuation. The trade is going to fluctuate and it's going to create a drawdown. That's the risk. And at that point, because we're working with the minimum viable capital, we only have that. We have that much. So, of course, your capital is exposed to this risk. Our ability, our skill is, now that we know, based on the research, now that we know the numbers, what can we do to improve? To use what we know is a Forex winning strategy and make sure we reduce as much as possible the risk in order to make a way higher profit. Okay? So, what I'm proposing, knowing this, is if we know the risk level, first trade will be 0.84 risk level, 1.08, and the trade number 3 will be 1.32. If we know that when we go to this level, trade number 3, we have all these previous levels, when we see the system executed this, then that's when we're going to enter. And the sum of these 3 previous trades gives you a total of 3.2. So we just round the number and we go with a risk of 3.5 lots. 3.5 lots. This is important because we're not going to longer take the 3 trades. We're going to take only one trade. It's going to be very clean, but only when we get to these levels. So, of course, we have to keep an eye on how the system keeps actively placing trades, which is what I do, and my team goes into this all the time. And we also receive email notifications that they have been coded into the algorithm, and they come out directly from the NV4, which is the trading platform. And we'll talk about at the end of this video about which broker I think right now works the best for a lot of clients in Europe, America, and Asia. Not so much for the ones in the US. Okay, so before I continue, I want to show you that why I refer to minimum capital. The reason why I refer to minimum viable capital is because this is the lowest. When I was designing this, I had a conversation with a client in the UK, and he basically said, Jose, you have to remember what is the maximum amount most people, listen, most people are willing to put in a Forex trading account. And he said that could be $10,000, maybe $20,000. He's not saying investors or traders or the day-to-day doctor, engineer that wants to explore how to make more money in the markets is not going to put more money. He said that the average, the most likely will be between $10,000 to $20,000, call it euros or pounds. So if you can see here, for example, someone that estimated hypothetical put $50,000 in the same strategy will have a return of 25.86%. The drawdown in this case is 50%. Now, in this scenario, what you're looking is nothing too different from the stock market. In the stock market, the day-to-day teaching is, okay, you invest in the long run. So at some point, your capital would probably experience this. But in the long run, you get this return, or way higher. But because we're trading a different asset class within a period, if we were to judge the return of this, of you having $50,000, not trading yourself, totally autopilot, and allocating your money for a year, 25% suddenly doesn't sound that bad, does it? It's a good return for your capital. Now, if you look the same, we're moving now into, as I mentioned, Osiris Ragnarok is a Forex winning strategy that works on different currencies. That means that it's also a multi-currency. It works with a combination of US pairs and also crosses. Crosses is everything that does not include the US dollar. It could be, for example, the pound against the New Zealand dollar, or traditionally speaking, the euro against the British pound. Now, in this case, with a hypothetical capital of 30,000, within a year, this is a deep drawdown, 67%, will return 44% of your capital. And you can see that it was not smooth, but it came back and returned a profit for investors, hypothetically speaking. That's a strategy. There are ways, and I'm going to show you today how exactly we can reduce the risk and how we can use the research in our favor to make it even better. Now, a 50,000 hypothetical investment will have, in this case, trading crosses, the same crosses, we have a 31% drawdown. Listen to this, a 31% drawdown and a return of 35% in a year. For $50,000, if you take the gain against the risk, excuse me. 1 second. If you take this, you're taking a almost 1-to-1 risk reward for your money. But then again, you're taking $17,000. Once again, autopilot, you don't know anything. You don't need to learn to trade. You just need to accept the risk and understand what to expect within 12 to 24 months trading this particular strategy. So that's the most important. So taking that out of the way, now I'm going to just focus. I'm going to go here and let's go back to the minimum viable capital and the amount returned within that period, the period that we're looking at with Osiris Ragnarok, 10 months. Now, this is very important. What we look now is for the levels. This level, the 132. So we're going to click on the trade and we're going to review this particular trade to have a better understanding what exactly happened and how we can apply this process. So the open price 127.38. Now 127.38. Let me see if I can bring this back. See how we can get this trade. We are stalling the trade 127.38, and I'm gonna take a look at this. I want you to see this. So The trade executed at 127.38. If you look at the low, you see here, I want you to take a look over here. The L, it's for low. The trade was executed here. The market moves. We have the low. You see that? 126.92. Can you see the L there? 126.92. In this particular case, we have a drawdown that almost 38 pips. And this is why you have to understand, and I'm explaining this during the video because it's crucial to understand. If we're waiting for this trade, and let's say we take the entry and then we let it go 10 more pips, so we enter a 127.28, we have at least 28 pips of risk. And then if we execute the trade, I'm going to show you this, just use an example. Following the strategy, we take this, we do the total sum of all the previous trades. Remember, we just want to take that particular trade. If the trade goes 22, 26, 20, let's say 30 pips, okay? Remember, I'm just using this as a guidance to show you the risk so you have a better understanding of the strategy. Now, let's look at here. We waited for all the trades. Once we have the trade number 3, 1.32, we sum all and we go live in your account and we place only one trade for 3.5 lots. That particular trade went against us about 30 pips. You can see here. That means that if this is the first trade in your account, this is where you have a drawdown risk. You're risking $1,078 of your account. This is why here you have this. It doesn't mean that it has to happen right away, but you need to be prepared that if it happens, this is where it comes from. You understand now the risk? Now, so when we understand this is where the competitive edge clicks in. Because now, knowing this, we avoided all these levels and we're going where the odds are in our favor. And we're looking, once we enter the trade number 3 and we're adding all the risk from the previous levels, remember, we're following this. Look, we're going for 150 pips profit. That's the target from the third level, from the trade number 3. So knowing this, now we, of course, will set the target. We look for 150. Let's put it here, 150. We're going for $4,600 estimated in profits. In the automated model here, remember, it's Forex winning strategy. We're only following the algorithm, Osiris Ragnarok. If you take it here, this position generated $2,080 return, which is great. But if we were to use the system to wait for the trigger and then go into the market, you're looking for double return and less risk. So for taking the risk of $1,078, you're looking to take home $4,667. In this case, you can see is in euro. The account, just for the purpose of explaining this, is in euros. So that gives you a risk reward of 4-to-1 on one single trade. But remember, hey, your minimum viable capital, it's 2,000 euros. So only on this position, you're taking 2 times your capital. That's 200%. It doesn't matter if it takes 10 days, because for example, let's go real quick here. Let me go back to this example here. It took 1 day. In other circumstances, it could take 13 days, 15 days. It all depends. But we are positioning ourselves to maximize the information. Now, I just need to summarize, but this is just a video to explain you overall the idea, how we can make. Now, all together, all these 5 scenarios where the strategy got to the trade number 3, it gets us to this point, and this is the summarize of all the positions. And that's how you actually ended up making the Grand Slam between 30,000 to 25, between 25 to 30, 35 to 30,000 euros with your minimum viable capital. As I explained, this is the competitive edge. understanding the research, understanding exactly where we're going to trade. Rather, I'm going to put it here one more time, rather than adding 1, 2, 3, shouldn't we just go to the best level? To the best level to trade where we're going to make the most money? And I'm going to take you with another idea. So let's say, for example, you have that level and you make more money. Did you imagine if you were to trade 2 times that last level? Because we know that that went against us 40. But if you were to have more money, not only the minimum viable capital, now think that you can pretty much do this. And now have 2 blocks where you know your opportunities to make a good profit are higher. Now, of course, you cannot do this at the very beginning because you don't have enough capital to risk. But once you build your account, and we know in 2018 we have 6 scenarios, what if by the 6th time, the 4th of the 5th or the 6th time that this happened, you were to do that, adding 2 times the profit? Of course, we'll need to manage the risk, but now you know that you're increasing from $4,600, you will be making almost $9,000. If it goes against you at least 40 pips, you know, you will be looking double, almost 2,000. But the risk reward is there for you. Once again, I want to take the time to thank you for watching this video. Again, if you want more of these trading ideas to trade Forex besides Osiris Ragnarok, on the right here, somewhere around here, is the subscribe button. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, English, Spanish. I will make sure I will take my time to produce the best ideas to trade Forex and invest in this type of algorithms, automated algorithms in 2019. So for every one of you, I thank you again for watching, and remember, this is a Forex winning strategy, Osiris Ragnarok, and the research has been collected from 2012 to 2019.